Hey guys, welcome to the stream, and today we're going to do a bit better than last night. We were a bit lazy with stuff last night, so we're going to continue on with our widget. So let's have a look, see how our widget is going. And basically we're going to have a look at this tooltip and also this widget here. Okay, so we're going to open those up, I believe. Yep. So we're going to go back to our crafting and our crafting process. Hi Disnez, how you doing, bud? Right, so basically what I want to happen is something like this. Now, whether or not the player actually holds the button down or whatever they do to activate this, we can think about it and decide at the time. But for the moment, I'm just basically working on the premise that we are getting the functionality to work. So you can see it doing the crafting process and then closing. Okay, I'm not bad, I'm just trying to finish off noodles here, so if I suddenly make funny noises, I'm just finishing off noodles. So give me 1 second. Okay, noodles finished. Just about. Now, we're going to have a cancel button in here. Okay, so basically I'm going to open up our main menu and basically copy the format of a button from there, because we really do want to keep things consistent, right? So if we, for example, copy this, right, and we paste it there. Yes, I've got a Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. Okay, now we're not going to have quit game, right? But we are going to have cancel. Oh, we've not even got a cancel. Well, that's fine, because we probably need to put it in game anyway. We've got, yeah. Okay, so we go into our string tables, st in game, and we're going to have cancel. Of course you can. I think I might be Boosty Bleak 1, but you should be able to find me. You'll be my second follower. It's Twitter something that I just post the streams up on after the fact. Right, it's not something I use extensively, but if I got more interaction I probably would. Right, so we go back to our crafting progress and cancel. Okay, now we don't want this to fill it. We want something more like that. Okay. And basically, on this button, this is going to be btn_cancel, right? Unclicked. Oh, there's a thing we should do, come to think of it. Right, we should clear timer by function name. Copy that. Right, now we should also have this. We'll copy this, and we should actually have it in our update progress so that when it finishes we do it as well. Okay. Okay. So, there we go. Next thing we should do, well, we can test that first, right? Okay. So it does cancel. But we also need it to do that. Right, and in actual fact, we should just do this as a custom event. And we'll call it cancel craft. Okay. And that will plug in there. Right. And if we go into here, we can delete this. Oh. Actually, we don't do that. Right, because can you give me a brief description of the problem? I'm not magnificent with, well, I'm not magnificent with anything, but I'm especially not that brilliant with C++, but I may be. That doesn't mean that I won't be able to help. It just depends on the type of problem. So if you can give me a quick description of your problem, I'll be able to tell you if I can help or not. So right, what I'll do is I'll break that. I'll leave this as its own thing just in case we need it somewhere else as well. Right, but obviously when we're finished crafting, we don't actually cancel the craft. What we do is we do something else, but we do clear the timer, right? So in here we'll say cancel craft. Okay, now I'm not able to pick the gun in my game on the client. I can pick up with server but not with client. Okay. Well, if you put it in my Discord, there's also a couple of guys that are C++ guys who might know better than me, but if I were you, well, I would try to do it in blueprints first, and then move it to C++ once you've got it working. That would be my approach, but I have done some stuff multiplayer, but I haven't done anything in C++ that was multiplayer. So debatable. Depends on. It really depends on what the issue is. If it's the C++ that's an issue, or that's the actual how you do it. But the one thing you've got to remember is if you're using widgets, then the server has no idea about widgets on a client. Okay. So this should now be working. I.e. when we press cancel, it should stop our counter, our timer, and basically close the widget down. Right, which it does. As you can see. Now, this is the interesting part. What I want to do is I want it to basically go to the middle of the screen, right? And then basically move to the slot that it's going to, right? So, with that in mind, we need to create our widget. Well, go to crafting again. Right, this is our crafting item. Okay. And we're going to duplicate this. I'm going to say finished. Okay. And we need to see here what item we're actually trying to craft. Okay. So with that in mind, we have to go to crafting main. Okay. And in crafting main, we need to check this. We've got the item image, item name, interactable main number. So the interactable main number is going to give us everything we want. Okay. Although these would come in handy anyway. Right? So when we craft the item, are we passing it to the progress? Actually, no. But we will pass it once it's finished. Okay, so I'm probably going to have to do an interface here, right? But that's okay. Right, because we'll just get it to work either way. So this is going to craft the item, right? And then we're going to create widget. And it's crafting finished. Okay, now in theory, we're going to be plugging that in there, that in there, that in there, right? And most likely we might have to use this. Okay. Now we might actually be able to do this here. No, we can't. We can get progress to file this back. Right? So what we'll do in the meantime is we shall actually do that. We shall create a interface. So it's going to be BPI underscore crafting. Right? Yeah, you should socket it. What you should do, I take it, right, does, I would socket it. Definitely socket it. Right. Has your backpack got any animation on it? I mean, I'm guessing it doesn't, but right, so we've got to go to crafting item. Right. And crafting. And our crafting progress. Craft. And class settings again. Crafting. Okay, so basically when this timer completes, now the question is, yeah, I'm not doing a parent. Right, so what we need to do here is go to our variables and go parent, except don't have capitals all over the place. And this is going to be W crafting item. Okay. Well, you should have it socketed. Okay. So on the crafting item, we are refreshing. Oh yeah, it's on the craft progress, and that's going to be instance editable and explode on spawn. So back here, refresh, that's going to be self. Okay. And then not in the crafting item, but in the crafting progress. Oh yeah, we're going to have the event though, right? So we're going to go back here, right? Event. No, you can't. You can only socket it in one place. When you attach the backpack, I mean, it depends what you want to do. It's You're just going to have to suck it and see, I think. You're just going to have to try it socketed and see if you can get it good enough that it's going to work, right? But there's no guarantee that it's going to look okay at all times. Right? But the problem is, if you try to, yeah, I mean, you're just going to have to try it and see. And see if the result is good enough. But you can't socket it with 5 bones, you can only socket something with 1 bone. Or not a bone, a socket. Yes, but you can adjust its relative position. Right? This is where you have to be kind of clever about it. You're going to have to see where you want to attach it. And move its relative position slightly. So, and then you're going to have to check it against your animations to see if your animations are making it go and do anything weird with the model or not. Right? And if all that doesn't work, then you probably have to model the backpack onto the actual character. And then if you do that, you're also going to have the base one without that mesh as well. Right? Because unless you always have a backpack on, I suppose. But even then, it's probably still going to be weird because you would have to animate the backpack as well. Not something I've thought about, sorry. Right, so on the crafting item, right, on this, we basically do this. Right? And then we do this. And then we add to viewport. Well, that's what you're going to have to find out. Right? If you just socket it, you won't. Because it should stay in the same relation, at the same relative position to the socket, right? But you might need to do a little bit of tweaking. There's no simple answer to this, right? And Naughty Dog have probably got about 400 people to work on it. Right. So now in our craft progress, if this is true, we say crafting complete. Right, and oh, that's not right. Craft complete message. Yukiruki? Well, I don't know. As I said, I think the last time I played The Last of Us was basically when it came out. I didn't really like it that much. So I only played the start of it, so I couldn't tell you what the backpack was and if it was actually what the animations on it were, or if indeed there were any. Right, so to be able to do this, right, we're going to have to pick up these now. Right. Well, that kind of worked. However, it did kind of make it kind of big. Alright. Okay. Right, so image size. One two eight by 128. Okay, so in here, this we rise size box. Try this out. One two eight, 128. Okay. It's not going to have that. In fact, let's just take them out. it's not going to have that. Right. Save that. So let's see if our size box has done anything to fix our issue, shall we? Nope. Nope, it did not. Okay. Crafting finished. Okay. Go with that. We're back to our border. Right. If that's not sized to content, right, wrap that with a canvas panel. Center it. Zero, zero, 128, 5128, then 0.5 by 0.5. Okay, so now I don't know which bits are deleted there. Well, trying to delete that size box. There we go. Yeah, I deleted those tooltips and stuff, didn't I? But they're obviously back because I did it after I put this in a size box, right? So, graph, delete that, delete them, delete that and that and that, save that. Right, so that is the first part of the story. Okay, so let's have a look at that again. Okay, and blammo. So that is kind of what we want, right? But it's also kind of not. But we're going to take a break for 5 minutes. We're going to have a cigarette So if you're enjoying the stream, hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out descriptions for links to the games Discord, my personal Discord, Patreon, and my previous game on Steam. I shall be back in about 4 minutes. Don't go anywhere, guys. Okay, guys, we're back. Right, so, problem here, or it's not a problem as such, is to make this look slick, I want this to move into the slot in the inventory, okay? Now, this is where some fun might have to start, basically. Right? So, what we're going to have to do is do this completely differently. Right, I'll tell you what I mean. Right, I'll show you what I mean. Right. So what I want to happen is basically when you click this, right, it comes up with the processing thing, then it comes up with the item, and then it moves this item which is popped up here into the slot. Why has that not got anything on it? Why is their inventory empty? What's going on there? What's going on? It's got nothing in our inventory. What? I'm not buying that. I think I know why. Right, let's do that. We might have another fixer-upper to do. Yeah, got that. So why is it not coming up here? Oh, it did. I must have clicked on that or something. Right, but anyway, what I want to happen here is for this to pop up, this will go to nothing, and then this basically moves into the inventory position. Okay. Now, there's going to have to be a few calculations here, I believe. Right, but we'll give it a go. So, the major thing here is if we go into our crafting main, right, we're filling the inventory grid. Okay. Now, here is the thing. We need to do some weird stuff here. Okay. We need to basically copy this. Duplicate it. And we're going to do fill grid, crafted item. Okay. Now, here's the interesting part. We're going to have an input of this. This is going to have an input, right? And let's have a look here. What's that? Oh yeah. Right. Let's have a little test of this first, okay? What we're going to do is fill grid crafted item. Okay. And this widget we've got a set render translation, okay? Now, when we actually go, let's say, we say 50-50. Okay, so this is going to be in a weird place, but I don't know where in relation to our grid this is going to be. Okay. So in our crafting main, when we call this, we're going to call the one with grid so that we see right, this is going to be right, this fill crafting grid. It's actually, it's fill if, yeah. It's going to be this one. Right? So I'm just getting an idea here of where it's going to place this item. Okay. Okay. It's doing that weird stuff again. It's doing weird stuff again. Ah, you see that? It's did it. I think it's did it like 50 pixels by 50 pixels in that direction, right? So that's okay. Right, now it's doing it in relation to where it should go. Okay, so if I say 0, 0, it should be okay. Right. So if I go to here, they're where they should be. Okay, I'm going to escape that. Right, and we're going to do 200 by, actually what we'll do is make it really obvious it's in the wrong place, right? If we do minus 200, okay, right, ah, right, so basically it's hidden. Now is that kind of weird? Not really. Right, okay, okay. Right. We're not going to do that. Right. But what we do need to do is find out which item it is that we're going to show right, so that we can move our other thing over to it. Okay, so when we craft our item, right, we don't actually craft it. Right, this is getting a little bit more tricky than I thought, but we'll carry on. We're going to do it, don't worry. Right, so we do that, and we're going to craft this item, right? Now, you'll notice at the end, we will probably fill the inventory grid, right? So this is where we're going to call the inventory grid with the item that we've crafted. Okay? So we're going to fill the inventory grid crafted item, right, which is going to do something a little bit different. And we are actually going to pass in the item number. Right? So in this, right, we're basically going to be passing in item number, and that's going to be a name. Okay. And that's going to be this row number. So what we'll do is we'll actually call this item row number. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to compare it and we're basically going to leave an empty slot. Right? So we're going to say if that equals that row number, that branch right, so now we've got some funky stuff to go. So if it's false, we do that, right? if it's true, we do that. Now, we might need to make a blank for this. Okay. Because what we want to do is, well, first of all, what we're going to have to do is check the number that we've got, right? But that's going to come in a second or two, right? But basically, we're going to draw an empty slot, okay? So in theory, I think I'm going to have to do an empty. Or I don't do this. Right? The other thing that's very interesting. We might need to do this as well. Right, and then that goes to there. Right, so this is empty slot. Right now, if I'm drawing nothing, then it might actually not work very well. But we'll check on it. Right. I should really save this so that I've got these in my inventory. Right. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Or not, however you depend to look at it. Right, so we craft the item. Right. Oh, I didn't pass this item in. Doofus. Right. Bit of work to go yet, guys, to get this to look good. But it should be worth it, just for that little bit of professionalism. That little bit of AAA panache, shall we say. That je ne sais quoi. Right. So when we craft this, right, you'll notice it didn't draw it, okay? But we didn't get an outline. But that's okay. Right? Because we now want to move this into this position of where it should actually go. Okay? Now, the thing here is we've got the crafting main. Okay. So what we could do here is add two variables, which is going to be crafted item row that's going to be an integer, and we duplicate this, and that's going to be crafted item column. Okay, and the thing we're going to do is we're going to set that. We're going to set that. Okay. This is going to go over here. That's going to go there. That can go there, right? And then this is going to go here. Now, the reason we're doing this is if we know what the row is and we know what the column is, we can actually calculate where our slot is. Okay? I think. Right. So, basically, we can calculate now where in relation to the middle of the screen our icon should actually go, right? And then we can basically lerp it to that position. Okay, now the thing about it is here that I'm not 100% sure if I were to do an animation yeah, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do it as an animation because I don't think you can pass. Maybe you can. Maybe somebody knows out there and if they've done this before. I've never done this. If I wanted to do an animation from point A to point B, can I have those points? We'll call it travel, right? For a laugh. Say for example, I wanted it to do it in 1.5 seconds, right? Well, then repeater, it's going to be transform, right? And it's going to be translation. Right, so we're not going to be doing that. We're not going to be doing that. We're not going to be doing that. Right? But can I set this to like a variable? I'm guessing not. Right, I'm guessing not. Which means that this is a waste of time. Right, so we can't do it that way, that's fine. Right, but we're going to have to figure out a way of doing this. So, well, crafting, right? If you do crafting main, now the question is, we have a reference character, but I'd have preferred to do this in the actual storage thing, or sorry, the crafting table. Well, yeah, okay. If we do it in the crafting table, that makes life a lot easier, right? We're not going to do that. There, it's here, right? So if we go to the crafting main widget, right? And we add a variable, right? And we say crafting table. It's going to be crafting table. Right, and just as a matter of, and we're going to say instance editable expose on spawn. Right, if we go to our crafting table, add a break, not add a breakpoint, disable breakpoint. If we refresh nodes and then we just say self, right, basically this allows us to do our timeline, okay, if we want. Rather than having to do any kind of weird stuff. Interesting. We may have to pass this a reference to the crafting item. Right, but anyway, let's not worry about that for now. At least we've got access to this. Right. So, in here we've got the crafted item row, the crafted item column. Right. And then we've got this crafting item finished, and this is the one that we basically have to find out which column and which row it has to go to, right? I need to find out which column and row in the inventory slot that our finished item has to move to, right? So we get the crafted item row and crafted item column, right? So the next thing we need to do is not going to be in there. Right, but what we could do is, right, we're going to have to add class settings to this and crafting. Okay. And then what we're going to have to do is go to our BPI crafting, add new function, and we're going to have to say move widget, right, and it's going to have an input so we're going to say W crafted, and it's going to be W underscore crafted item, crafted finished. Okay, then we're going to go to crafted finished, then basically we're going to get this, and we're going to pass these in as well. Okay, so we're going to add a new parameter called row, integer, then column, integer, compile that, then on this is the parent, so crafting table, what's this called? It's crafting table. Okay, then we're going to say move I can't answer that just now. I've never done that before. I'm going to think that the physics are more likely to mess it up than anything else. We get a reference to self. Okay. So we'll test this out, right? By moving this up a bit, tidying this up basically first before we do anything. Right, and we say event move widget, right? And first thing we're going to do is set render translation. Actually, you know what we do is timeline, right, and we'll say 2 seconds. Float track, curve key, it's going to be at 0. And that's 2, that's 1. Okay, now, yeah, that'll do. Right. So we've done our timeline. We're going to rename that to alpha. Save that, event graph, and we're going to do alpha multiplied by 100, and then we're going to split that struct, and we're going to do that there. Then just as a test, we're going to do that there. And let's see if this is going to move it, right? But we're just moving it to 100 to the left and 100 down, right? And we're lerping through it in 2 seconds, okay? So we're going to see, first of all, if this actually works. Okay, no reason why it shouldn't, but it's just because I'm doing this as like interface calls and we're working with the widget outside the actual widget, etc, etc. Right? There we go. And funnily enough, what we should really do right, I'm going to change this to 1.5. Then I'm going to add another key in at 0.5. And then I'm going to make that 0 as well. So it's going to do nothing for 5 seconds, then it's going to do it. Right? And this is going to go 1.5. right? Right. There we go. That's a lot better. The lower the better. The lower the better, but 2K should be enough in any circumstance, really. But as I said, the lower the better. Unreal Engine takes care of a lot of that, but well, Unreal Engine takes care of that with your LOD. But you should try and help it out by using lower textures where you can. Right. So now we need to calculate where our thing should go. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to have a look at craft and main, and we need to work out where this is. Right? So we know this is directly in the middle, right? And then we know that it's padded 50. Right? So that means so it's 1920, so that's 960. So our base starting point, right, should be actually, funnily enough, if this thing is right in the middle, right, we should just be going 50. Right? And that should actually be our first position. Right? Right, I'm going to delete that. Oops. I'm going to delete that. Now if we look at it again, we should be able to work out how big that is. And that should be 50 from the top. Right? strangely, well, there we know what the answer is, right? It's 125 for the top. $125, 75. And I've no idea what that is. Are you working off stream? Yeah, normally. Yeah, I do. This is like when I do the streams online. I'm normally just taking it easy because I'll be talking to you guys and stuff. Usually I do the super serious stuff offline, like if I'm really trying to do something that's wacky weird, let's say. Right, so, okay. Right, so we know, right, that our initial position is right in the middle, right? So, if we, I could, no, I can't put it as a function because it's got a timer on it, but anyway. Right, the point being, right, that we probably need a minus. In here as well. Right. And we'll just undo that, okay? Now, we know that the position our thing starts in is $960 by 540, okay? But you've got to take off 64 off of each of them, right? So 960 plus 960, right? And then we take off half the size of our widget, right? And that is basically the top left position. If we do the same again, right, that's on the horizontal. Then if we do 540 minus 64, right, that is going to be basically, if you imagine, oh damn it, if you imagine that this is the center and our widget is in the center, this is going to be the top left position. Is going to be the 960 minus 64 and the 540 minus 64. Now, I know I might have to end up getting the resolution off of this to actually make it work on like different size monitors, but in theory, if I get this working, then we can get the rest working, right? So if we consider that this is our starting point, right? We have to then calculate where the top left of our end point is. Okay? So, I'm going to work on that off stream. The thing is, you can message me if there was something you wanted to ask or whatever. But if you've enjoyed the stream, hit like and subscribe, it helps a lot. Check out the description for links to Groenland's Discord server. Also, there's a link to my personal server. Also, there's a link to Patreon where you can throw a couple of bucks, and also my previous game on Steam, which you can buy a game for $1 and throw me a buck. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you tonight, 8 PM as usual. Bye bye for now.